All right. I think I am live here. Give me 1 second, everybody. I was working on a work thing, got pulled into that, and a few minutes behind on the stream. But we are coming together here. So give me just a second. Let me actually check, make sure I am live. Oh, wait. You know what would be nice if I brought my microphone? If I brought my microphone over here, that would probably help, wouldn't it? Okay. Let's see, this is saying I'm live. Yes, okay. Perfect. Let me change my audio to come through my headphones. And yeah, give me a second now and I will share various windows. So I'm using SE Live today, which is like OBS's thingamabobber. And so we're going to see if this works any better. So let's share screen over here. I want to share my screen. How's everybody doing today? I want Google Chrome. Yes. Are you up here? Oh, I think you're up here. My video is just too large. Oh, wait. No, you're not there. Is that Chrome? Desktop. Okay, that works too. There we go. All right, now we got that there. Dre, how's it going? Bridget's here. Yes. Oh my goodness, hang on. I have like I'm a little new to OBS / SE Live, but I wanted to try it and see if the quality was a little bit better than what I was getting with Restream. Put me down over here in the corner here. So good to see everybody. How's the screen looking? Is it blurry? I know last week we were having some trouble with blurry, and I'm trying OBS to see if that works any better. No, interesting. What is this? Nope. Let me scoot that over a bit more. Down. Yep, there we go. My goodness. Whoop. Sorry if I'm making you seasick here. Okay. All right. All right, Dre says, second coffee chat got rescheduled. Ah, boo, not the coffee chat's getting rescheduled. I can imagine that. I feel like I'm always like I don't know if it's my ADHD, but like sometimes I'm just like, coffee chat, yeah, I want to have this meeting, I want to do this thing. And then it's like, I don't know, like something just comes up that's like, it's hard to, I don't know, like it's just difficult to plan around, or it's like, particularly with like work stuff, like most of the time I can kind of predict what's going to happen, but sometimes it's just like, you know, my manager needs something, and rarely does he need something like right away, but like, you know, at the same time feels kind of tough to be like, oh, let me go, you know, just randomly have this coffee chat when like there's, you know, my team needs something at work. So I can get like that kind of sometimes, but that's a bummer it got rescheduled. But hope you've got some good coffee. I've got some coffee, and we can coffee chat over here. Glad the screen is looking good. Good. I'm gonna post a few reminders in here. Let me actually here. I'm gonna need to shrink this a bit, I think, to make OBS fit nicely. Or let's see. See if I do that. Or what if I change the size of my window? Oh yeah. Okay, OBS can figure that out. It's smart like that. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, we will do that, and then I'll just leave me right here. I promise I'll eventually get better with this live stream stuff. I don't have any music for us today. I'll figure that out next time. You'll just have to have me like humming. But yeah, so today I figured I'd do pretty much what I did last week. That seemed to work for some folks, where we were just kind of hacking together and yeah, just kind of playing around with some stuff. So I figured what I'll probably do is go through some PRs and stuff here and just kind of, yeah, look around and see what's all going on in PR land, give some reviews. I know there's a couple I need to look at and try out. And then I know there's some issues. If anybody else is looking for some stuff to do for Hacktoberfest, we have a couple issues that are unassigned and up for grabs, I think. So yeah, here's a new issue I need to look at and triage and make sure we actually want to do something with that. But yeah, I feel like we do need some like lo-fi sort of stuff going on in the background here. Let me see what happens. Can I share? I don't know if you all have heard of Dope Music. I'll post a link to it in the chat, but it's, I'm kind of digging it. Let's see, can I post this in the chat? Hello? Ah, really? Won't let me post links with you? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, Bridget, yeah, Hacktoberfest, it's, so, I've got a couple videos, I think I may have sent to you about, like, what it's, like, overall like, and what I kind of do with it, but, basically, it's just an opportunity for people to contribute to other people's code, and so, it's almost like, I give a metaphor of it being like, this is like a big Google Doc, right? So I have this project that it's a EUI event template, and just to show you how it actually looks and what it is, it's basically a simple page website that I made for an event my ERG was hosting. And it's, pretty simple, but has like different tabs that show like details about the event. It shows who's speaking at it, different talks that are at the event. We have a page with links to recordings, FAQs, those sort of things like that. And so I started out with something a little bit simpler than this, and, we've just had contributions. So I created some issues of things I'd like to see. Other people have proposed issues of like, oh, what if it did this, or what if it did that? And if it seems reasonable, then I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then they create a PR, which is really fancy, scary language if you're not used to it, but basically just means, here's the changes I made to the code. Do you want to merge that into your code base? And so then I have to review those. The reviewing process from a maintainer standpoint, which is the person who like owns the repo, it can be probably as simple or convoluted as you want it to be. Like, my number one goal is to make sure that any code coming in doesn't break anything. And secondarily to that is kind of a little bit of like style preferences for trying to keep it consistent with other code. And then, that's pretty much that, and like a little bit of coaching if I can, if there's like a different way to maybe do something, but I'm still not like the most senior of developers. So like I'm still learning some of that stuff myself. So that's kind of, what I do. And yeah, Andy's here again. Yes. Fly on the wall. I know. Yeah. Let's see what's your over under, Andy, on like how long it takes for me to mention Trello. I know I just did, but what's your over under? Is it going to be like within the next 15 minutes? Is it going to take me 30 minutes? I'm a huge Trello nerd, and so is Andy. So I know, we love to nerd out about it. 10 minutes. You're probably right. I really do like want some lo-fi music going on here. Let me see what I can do with this. Okay, so that's playing for me. Is that playing for you all? Can you all hear lo-fi music? I don't think you can. Let's see if I can figure out how to change that. Yeah, I didn't think you can. Let me see if I get an audio input. Wonder if it could do it from Chrome. This is the part that I was trying to figure out. Yeah, it's not going to work because it's like LG Ultrafine Audio, MacBook Pro microphone. Yeah, that's not going to work. This is the part I was struggling to figure out yesterday with OBS, because I understand the complexity behind it. So I know you can share computer audio on Zoom, and I think that's effectively kind of how I might need to do it, but even doing with like Zoom in here, it's weird, right? Because I was playing around with this last night in case like I wanted to have somebody else on here, because that's why I was using Restream before, is that it's just so much easier to like send a link to somebody else and like hook up all those sources. But what I'm using today with OBS, it's a little bit more complicated, because I basically I was able to get Zoom coming in and like the video from Zoom, but I couldn't get the audio. And I think I might need to get some tool that's a virtual audio cable, and it started getting more technical than I was ready for. But I know exactly the feature you're talking about, where like you go to share screen and then it's like also share computer audio, and I don't know that OBS has anything quite like that. And yeah, I really wish it did. I promise I'm going to try to figure that out at some point, because I think that's part of what makes this kind of fun, is having some like lo-fi music here in the background. But yeah, the only other thing I could think of is, in the interim, is if I were to turn like play the music through my speakers on my computer. No, that wouldn't even work, because then it's going to double with my voice audio. Yeah, it's not, I can't think of a good thing for it. So I'll try to, I feel like I'm not the first one to try to solve this. So next week we'll have some better background music. I'll make that my personal goal for in the next week, to figure out how we can do that. But yeah, Restream was super easy. You just had like a button for it. But this is free, and yeah, we're having some issues with it being blurry, and I have more control over the frame rates and the push out settings. That's definitely not what it's called, but that's my fancy terminology for it, the push out settings. So yeah, so I guess in the meantime, yeah, I'll probably, I don't know, I'm gonna stop talking, even though it feels a little weird since there's no music, but yeah. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute and just kind of look through some of these new issues that came in, and I can kind of talk through what I'm doing. But if anybody else wants to kind of work on stuff, let's see, maybe YouTube has like built-in audio you can play right through the platform. It possibly does, but the problem, so I'm using a thing called OBS to like pull together these sources. So like I'm not actually, I'm streaming via YouTube, but I'm using a tool that is then sending the data to YouTube. So it's not like I'm like inside of YouTube Studio right now, if that makes sense. And like actually, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like in this section, like this is happening, but like I'm not actually, like I'm doing all of this behind the scenes in another tool. So there's not like a, like, yeah, here we go. Here's a good example. Like you see where it says streaming software. I'm using something called SE Live, also known as OBS. Somebody could probably tell me they're different, but they're basically the same thing. And so, yeah, so that's why. And yeah, I know this does handle hooking in those sort of things, but I can't figure out how to exactly make it do that. Ooh, although you know what I bet I could do? I can add a media file. Who knew this Zoom was going to be more about adding in, oh yeah, I just need to have like some media file downloaded, which I probably should, because I have like, well, let's find some lo-fi beats on Epidemic Sounds, and then I'll just see if I can put it on loop. Yeah, I know I can add, like, the problem is it's just going to be the same one, but maybe that's fine with lo-fi. Oh my gosh. I can't type. Does anybody else ever do that? It's like when people are watching you type, you suddenly can't type. Lo-fi. Here we go. Lo-fi Beats Essentials. Okay, let me just download. Download full mix. Download 2 for us. No, I'll download 3 just because we're crazy. And then, now let me add them in here. Add media source. Lo-fi. Okay, and so local file, browse, oh, yeah, okay, let's see, downloads, sure, let's do that one, we say loop, okay, it's probably super loud, sorry about that, okay, can you hear it now? I cannot hear it, which is kind of funny, but if I'm doing this correctly, I think you all might be able to. Looks like it's pushing some stuff out. Yes, okay, you can hear it. That's hilarious. I cannot. Let's see. Is the volume level acceptable? Why can't I hear it as well? That feels weird. It was loud and not really quiet. Okay, okay. Now really quiet. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit more then. Yeah, sorry, I had the volume all the way up at first. I didn't mean to start it out like that, so apologies if that was kind of jarring. This is really obnoxious that I cannot also hear it. Wonder, like, I don't know how to say, Yeah, okay. If this is a good level for you all, I will leave it. Let me know if you get tired of this and we'll loop in one of the other ones that I have. But again, I will figure out a better solution for this soon. But at least we got some good background working music here, so we'll keep that going. So, cool. Okay, I will keep an eye on the chat and kind of talk through what I'm doing here. But feel free to work on whatever if you need any help, or if you're working on some issues and you're like, hey, can you give me feedback on this? Or if you've got a PR in my repo or anything and you want some eyes on it, just chat and let me know. I'm looking at this new issue that was proposed. Add a Lighthouse tool to analyze the repos in terms of performance. It's probably not a bad idea. Yeah, sure, I'm down for this. This seems like a good idea. Sign it too. Thanks for submitting it. I'll also add some labels. So now I'm gonna go ahead and assign it. That is a lot of what I do. I don't think I need the Hacktoberfest label, but I'll go ahead and put it in there. And this is more of a give this an enhancement label. Also can I create a new one from here? No, I'm not gonna create a new one. That one's good for now. Now let's see if there's any other issues I need to check in here. English translation. Oh yeah, they're working on that. Okay, perfect. I believe Sahil is working on this one as well. Okay. Alright, so I don't think I have any new issues to triage, so I'm going to start working through some of these pull requests. So, let's see what we got. I know this one specifically they're waiting on me for, so I'm going to share I'll share my VS Code. Let's see, although it would be more helpful if I have up the right repo in my VS Code, so let me do that. Does anybody else sing to themselves while they work, or is that just a me thing? Okay, open Visual Studio Code. And then I will share that source. Window capture, VS Code. Okay. I want let's see, where is VS Code? Oh, is it just code? Oh, sneaky, there it is. Wow, there we go. Nice and big for everybody. Okay, let me make this much smaller, more manageable. There we go. Alright, so you can see when I'm working in here. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to actually run this sponsor logos, fetching my original here, and then I've already kind of started on a review, which is where I basically go through their PR and recommend, any sort of things that have changed or something. But like I said, the number one thing I want is to run it and make sure it works. So I'm gonna run yarn, then yarn start, which will start it up. And then I will go back to this over here. I just want to make sure it runs. And so this PR is specifically adding featured sponsors here. So, ooh, I like this. This is really cool, actually. It's a really nice section. It shows the featured sponsors. Everything seems to work. So the number one thing I'm checking for is there's no broken functionality or anything. Oh, although for some reason light mode isn't working. What is happening here? Let me check my logs real quick. You can wait for it to come to this page. Let's try that again, I don't know. It was a weird bug, okay. Oh, interesting. So we have some weird bug now that causes the page to crash when you switch to light mode. And I'm gonna need to figure that out, but I'm gonna assume that is unrelated to this PR. That's annoying. Okay, but for now, assuming this is unrelated to the PR, let's actually go see if it is happening on main, because that would be problematic. Okay, it's not happening on main, so there's a chance it could be related to this PR. Okay, let's now go actually look at what's happening in this PR. Where's the best place for me to move my video out of the way here? Move it here for now. So, okay. So basically, they're adding sponsor logos. And, let's see now. Adding. There's Levi. He's just reshuffling here. Definitely let me know if you all get tired of this lo-fi music, because I can't hear it, so it could be annoying by this point, and we need a new track, and I can switch it out, and I promise to not deafen you this time when I do it. Okay, function here. So this looks just kind of like some cleanups of adding spaces. Okay, nothing too exciting there. The main page. We're not calling it the bottom bar, we're calling it a footer. Page content body, we're restricting the width. And that seems right. And then we're adding a spacer, making a bigger spacer, adding the sponsor logos, and then adding another spacer and adding the footer. Okay, so we're reworking bottom bar to be footer. I don't know if we need that. We'll come back to that. So yeah, one thing when I started looking at this the other day, I kind of personally have a preference for keeping styles in a CSS file, and we've got some like inline styles here, which again, this is where it kind of comes down to like style preference, and just because we generally are doing that with other stuff, I'm going to encourage this person to also put the styles over there, but nothing like actually quote unquote wrong with it. I mean, you see it and it works. So adding that note for that. And then exporting the sponsor logos, cleaning up the sizes, title size, that's interesting. And then we basically, yeah, I had a comment already there. Yeah, also these styles, yep, these styles too. Let's see, featured sponsors, which is exactly what it shows there, and I like that. And then just below that, it basically goes through all the sponsors, map, and then name, source, href, yeah, name, image link. I think that makes sense. Basically, if there is a link, return basically a link object. That makes sense. And then the sponsor logo inside of that, return sponsor logo. It's just a styling thing. Here's the sponsor data. href is optional. So what does it do basically if there's not a link? I guess because all of these, okay. Oh, is the difference it's not clickable? Okay, I see. It just doesn't actually go anywhere. Okay, that's fair. Seems fine. What is happening here with the hooks on hover? Malfunction, use hover. So we've got a value, use state, and mouse over, use effect. If there's a node, add mouse over, handle mouse over, add event listener, mouse out. Oh, interesting. So basically, oh wow. Basically, is all of this needed for hovering? That seems more necessary to me. Or like, not more necessary. It could be my lack of knowledge of code here. This could be. So interesting. I don't think any of that should be breaking. Let's see, did we actually change footer? You on bottom bar. Wait. What's the reason for this change? Okay. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm a little confused why it's breaking. Let me see if they're okay. So there actually aren't any merge conflicts, which, as much as I hate merge conflicts, I was kind of hoping they were there because that could explain why it was broken. But okay, so basically now what I'm going to do, I've left some comments in there, and I'm going to finish my review. I'm going to request changes. Say that Brandon, overall this looks amazing. I love the functionality and the styles. Only a couple things that need to be changed. One, I prefer we keep the styles in app.css or other CSS files rather than inline. Or let's say create other CSS files to keep them in line. Two, for some reason the app crashes when you click on the light mode or on the icon to click on the toggle to change from light to dark and vice versa. I don't see this happening on main, so I think it might be just this branch. Maybe by that bit. I'm wondering if it has something to do with your use effect. Not use effect. Yeah, basically your use hover. Also, I don't know why that would interfere with it. Let's see. Can I have any more manager changes? Along the lines of that function. Yeah, we'll just leave it with that. Oh my gosh. Do you hear that? My girlfriend's phone is blowing up and her computer's open in here. Okay, but also I don't really know why that would interfere with it. So, okay. All right, so that's one PR down. Woo! Now I need to look at another one. We've had more since then. Let's see what we've got here. Let me go ahead and stop this one running. Check out main. Back to main. Okay. This following PR makes changes in README. What's the status on this? Did I already review this? Okay, yeah. We'll work on it. Okay, cool. So they're still working on changes in that. And then this one opened yesterday. Add accessibility checklist. Oh yeah, so this is for adding a checklist. Let's see. This first implementation, I tried to input only applicable tasks for the website as it is right now. Of course, we should improve this list over time when more features are added. Already identified some tasks that need to be done, others that we should check if it's done or not. Once that 2 or more people are wanting to contribute to this issue, I thought it'd be a great idea. Open 2 more issues. I'll do the tasks and another to check and resolve. This list. Let's see. Try sharing live stream. Did you already review my PR? issue that I really want to move anything that makes sense, basically. A tool gives us, okay, yes. Alrighty. Looking at this PR now. Yes, live stream is being recorded, and I will try to remember to share the link in here. And if I forget, I can go to past live streams and see it there. Bridget and Dre, Andy, are y'all still with me? How's everything going on your ends? What are you all working on? Anything more exciting than this? Although accessibility checklists are pretty exciting. Quick coffee break. File includes description to improve the app. Okay. You know, this is another one. I'm just gonna pull and look at it in VS Code so I can preview it. It's gonna look a lot nicer. So let me actually run that one. Okay. Branch. Okay, and then this file lives in docs. Research notes. Okay. In case you didn't know this, when you're looking at something in VS Code, you can preview a file by clicking that button, and if it's in like Markdown or some other format, sometimes you can play around with it. Ooh, nice, Dre. That's awesome. Good job submitting the PR. I always feel bad when I request changes because it's like, I know that feeling of being on the other side of it, and it's like, oh, I put all this work into this PR and it works. And so I appreciate when people are, you know, willing to work with the changes. But again, that's what it's like working, you know, with dev teams and stuff. Like, I have plenty of changes that I have to do on my PRs and work. So okay, so we've got, oh, interesting, so they added it just in research notes. Okay, fair enough, sure. So accessibility checklist, levels we'll use, essential. Okay, update the table with following information. I'm gonna make this wider here so we can see better. Task. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we do have docs. Okay, so it goes to, okay. And then done. Computer dinging is driving me nuts. Oh yeah, running Yarn through the terminal to run the website. Oh, okay, yeah, oh man, so that's gonna be like a whole new, hang on, I'm gonna have to go like close these computers. Hold on 1 second before I lose my mind. Sorry, I don't know if y'all were hearing that dinging, but it was driving me up a wall. Okay, we're good now. Yeah, so Yarn is, wow, I'm sure someone could give you a much more technical explanation than what I'm about to do, but basically, Yarn compiles your code and throws it out in your browser. So, to be honest, I'm actually not sure how I would run this code through my terminal if I wasn't doing that. Like, how do you, yeah, I'm trying to think, because if you're just doing like basic HTML and CSS, you can like, you know, just like double click the file in Finder and it'll like put it in your browser. But if you're running like a full on like app or having like sort of JavaScript even, actually I guess you could probably do JavaScript in your browser or like with clicking on Finder. But yeah, and there's tons of things with Yarn. It's a package manager, right? So it handles all of these dependencies. So it not only compiles my code, but it also goes and looks at everything that I have in here and says, hey, go grab all of these different libraries and dependencies and then pull the app together. Because all the different sections of it require, obviously, like the time zone stuff. I need this library, and so it can't run without like actually having that. And so yarn is a quick way to say, hey, go get those libraries, and then yarn start is a way of saying, hey, go run those libraries, and then, you know, put up a server in your local computer, and you go to port, usually 3000, and then you can view it there. So yeah, it's super, super handy. You can do it with NPM too. I don't know specifically about this. Like, I always kind of get confused how and when you can cross the streams with it, because you kind of want to use one or the other. Like, you wouldn't really want to do npm install and then yarn start. Although I think technically maybe you could, but I think you're not supposed to. But anyways, yeah, there's another one out there called npm that is the same sort of thing, where you would do like npm install and it installs all of those packages, and then npm start or npm start dev, or yeah, I can't ever remember the syntax for that exactly. I like yarn. I don't really have a great reason for why I prefer yarn over npm, mostly just because I see it and use it more, but they both do kind of similar things. Interactive elements indicate their purpose and state. Okay. To check, to do. Alright, so overall, I like what they are suggesting here. I'm going to go back to the PR. I'm going to say... I forget what they're saying. Overall, I like what you're suggesting here, and I think this is a great checklist to go off of. I love the priority scoring. Yeah, happy to explain it. Feel free to, ask about anything else you see that you're like, what is that you're doing? I may be able to explain it, or I may be like, it's some magic that I know one or two things about. Let's see, I think this is a great checklist to go off of. I love the priority scoring, and I think this is a good list. As far as your comment about spinning up issues, or wait, hang on, let me first start with one question. This is more comment here, I guess. One question is, I'm still hearing the dinging. Why am I still hearing the dinging? I closed the laptop. Do I need to throw it away? I'll lose my mind. Okay, one question is, what was my question? Oh, about the whole, don't do it, don't throw away the laptop. Do you hear that? Do you all hear that? Or like, yeah, it's there. You have to be hearing it because it's got to be coming through my microphone. It has one more ding though before I take it out of this room. Let's see. Okay, one question is, I'm a little confused by the. Next two tasks. Does that mean it's done? Let's see. I assume that does mean it's done. The page contains a heading, skip link, or landmark document. Okay, so wait, let's see. So I guess that is saying that is that, and then just want to clarify that to do means it's something that needs to be done and will be a task to complete it. To check simply means we need to go through the app and see if it exists. Right? And you're saying we can have one issue for someone to go check through everything, and another issues for people to implement the things that need to be done. Right? Just want to make sure I understand. I think I am good with that. approach if you want to spin up those issues. I'll use create. I don't know if spin up is syntax that everybody uses. If you want to create those issues, let me know if you'd like to be assigned to them or if you would like someone else to work on them. Thanks for putting this together. Go ahead and approve that, because we do have the checklist that I was wanting. Oh, yes. I also like the idea of maybe updating the PR. Well, no, because I know on the one hand, I like the idea of updating the PR checklist to call out accessibility things. I'm gonna leave that as a separate comment. I need to think through what I'm trying to say there. Basically what I want to say is I want this to be maintainable, right? So like I want us to not just make a checklist and move on. What I'm saying is I want ideally part of the PR process to include like, oh hey, I have confirmed this works for accessibility, which I believe BB Code has, Bruno. I think Bruno has created another issue for that. So I think we are good to go there. Squash and merge. And then we'll close out that issue. Yeah, no, that is closed. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I also... Let me just make sure. Okay. So that should be good. Okay. Oh my gosh, am I caught up on PRs and issues? What is this? This is an amazing feeling. Now I'm gonna do what I always like to do and go try to run back through. We're gonna do the whole yarn start again. We're gonna go back to main. We're gonna fetch the origin here. I'm not sharing it just because there's too much on the screen, but I'm using the GitHub UI for GitHub desktop to just do all that. I'm gonna get rid of all these. Open up terminal again. Always run yarn to start it because that's basically just yarn install. And then we'll do yarn start. Let's just make sure. Working here. Yeah, working here. Speakers. We do have an issue coming up for somebody to make a loading thing. I do hate how slow that is. But I like the fact that you can use, like, all of this data is coming from a Google Sheet, which I specifically wanted that to be a feature because I wanted it to be for people who maybe didn't know how to code but wanted to use this sort of template so they could like create this and get it running basically and not have to worry about where they update the data. They could just have a spreadsheet that people in marketing or, you know, whatever department set up all the different profiles and the talks and things, and all of the data just populates from there without, oh, every time a talk is added, we need a developer to go update it or whatever. But I'm having mixed feelings about that approach. Like, I thought on the one hand that was going to make it easier, and I don't know that one approach is better or not, but I think I'm good with it at this point. So yeah, so now what I do is check on issues here, and you know what's funny? Andy, we made it more than 10 minutes, but Trello does come up here, so here's where it's happening. I need to clean up this board because I actually have a board that oh, come on, EUI. I just saw you there. EUI event issues. There we go. I have a board where I keep track of these, and like every time a new issue is created and when it's assigned, it moves over here, and it's supposed to like move things in here to say, hey, it's been 3 days, make sure to check up on it. And so I'm gonna do that because I think most of these have actually probably been, yeah, so I can archive that. I think that's also been, oh, you know what, I just realized Chirag's not here. Let me post and see if Chirag's planning to join. We also have a new friend in my Slack space. Welcome. Okay, yeah, I have a Slack space where... Oh, Adre, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'll chat with you later, probably over Slack. Speaking of Slack, I have a Slack workspace. It's called Build with Brit, and it's basically... There's maybe like 15, maybe 20 of us in there, but only a couple of us there, I would say pretty active. But yeah, it's just a Slack space for people who are building things with code. And so, yeah, I work on various things in there. It's, you know, different, sometimes it's like no code, sometimes it's code, but it's basically just people who like want to build stuff and have a community and kind of support with that, and junior developers who are trying to learn and get started on that journey, and also just have some support, and even like mid to senior developers who want to help those folks, and just, I don't know, just in general, I'm trying to foster like a helpful community for folks who like are building things. And like that's a big thing is like I want to get rid of the stereotype of like, oh, some people are developers, some people are engineers. Like we're all like building things, and sometimes we use code, sometimes we don't use code. Yeah, like I haven't written a single line of code today, but obviously we're all helping to like build this thing, so I find that pretty fun. So yeah, okay, so this is another one that needs to be cleaned out. But let's see. So yeah, the problem I have is I need to, yeah, we fixed that one too. We did. I think this one needs to be checked in on again for sure. Nope, not that dog. Oh wait, hang on, I just realized I'm still sharing VS Code. Sorry, back to the browser. I'm gonna stop that since it actually is working. Okay, and this is open. Let me see what I want to sign up for now. Oh, okay, cool. Yes, I can assign to you. Let me know when you need any help, and please check in here within a couple days with a progress update, so I know you're still interested. So this is a common thing where people will like, kind of like ghost maintainers, and I try not to assume any malice or anybody coming in here is planning to do that, but yeah, that's why I kind of encourage people to. I don't really even care if you have finished it in a couple days. I just need to know like you're still around and it's on your radar kind of thing, especially since I feel pretty lucky that people are... Oh, what did I do to that? Oh, see, that's awesome. Now it moves it back. Did I move it back? Move this card from issues to assigned due date. Hold on one second. Where's my Rudy here? Let me go check on B real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, B is okay. Alright, let's see now. Alright, so yeah, so see, this will now automatically remind me to check in on that in 3 days. And then I've done that issue. I actually think this one might still be up for grabs, but we did talk about doing that later. Sign for now. Okay, so this one is available if anybody wants to tackle. It's looking for another Hacktoberfest issue. Here's one. We need to upgrade this to the latest EUI version. If anybody would like to tackle that. One is kind of unassigned, so I need to probably move that back over there. Oh my gosh, I need to clean up all of these. Let's see, create docs for adding mix panel. Yeah, I've been chatting with her about that, so get back over there. Add basic mix panel setup. Or wait, that's kind of the same thing. Light mode option. That one's definitely done. That's done, done, done. Done, done, done. Okay, let me clear. We just completed accessibility checklist. Completed that. Completed that. That is in progress. It's completed. That is completed. We are leaving that one unassigned. Update the metadata to have a new image and title. We did that. That one. I think that one is. Let's see. Okay, I did yesterday. All right, so I will need to check that again. Where was that one at? I set a reminder for that in 3 days to check up on, or 2 days to check up on that again. Polish translation, same. Actually, wait, no. That does need to be, I think, the 15th. No, wait. 16th. Try to check that in 2 days. And then, Nikki! Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you here. Right now, we actually have Trello up. What we are hacking is, so I have a repo for Hacktoberfest, and it's a pretty simple event website. Funnily enough, some of the format was kind of inspired by the PM72, actually. So, hang on, why am I scrolling so far down here? Looking for this. So this started as for my company. I work with, I'm like on leadership for our LGBTQIA+ ERG, which is like an employee resource group. So basically, it's kind of like Club of the Gays. And so I was working on, we were having an event where they, basically people got to apply to give talks about various things that were like meaningful to them, or just things that they thought were interesting or things they learned. And so anyways, so I built a template for it, and then I open sourced the template so that others could contribute and we could improve it and stuff. And so this is basically what the repo is, the project is, and I'm a maintainer of it at this point. So I'm kind of contributing in the sense of I'm, creating issues, I'm seeing issues that people have created and deeming if we want to work on them or not. And then I'm, reviewing PRs. So what we were working on before you got in is reviewing the PRs. And so basically seeing like, oh, these people, these are the changes that they've requested or that they've suggested and things. And so I've reviewed them, merged some, made some comments, and asked for changes on some others. And so now we're kind of going through issues. And I was explaining that I, of course, have a Trello board that kind of tracks most of this, where like when new issues come in, they come into this board, into this list. I use Unito to kind of sync it. And then as soon as someone is assigned to it, it jumps over here. And then it sets a due date for like 2 days from now, and then when it's due, it moves over here, and that's a reminder for me to like actually go check on it. But I haven't looked at this board in like a week, and so we're hacking a little bit to make sure it's like actually all caught up and consistent with what we have here with all of my issues and things, to make sure that nothing is falling behind here. So let's see. So here's a good one that actually needs checked in. Just wanted to check in and see if you have any updates here. What are you working on today, Nikki? What do you got going on? Okay, then. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm gonna want to check in probably a few more days on that one. And what else do we have? Polish translation. Yeah, that one's still good to go. As user. We're working on that one. User reminder then. Same with the mix panel. Internationalization. I just commented on that one. Lighthouse tool. That one was just assigned. Loading state. I think that one is also still good, but just want to check. Yeah, it was just assigned yesterday, so yeah. Perfect. So that's another 2 days before we need to do something there. Okay, yeah, wow. All right, well, I'm feeling pretty good. Anybody else here have anything you want to work on? Anything you want to kind of hack through or talk about or get some feedback on? Let me know. Otherwise, I will probably be wrapping this up and get back to my other work. I think I'm going to try to do this a little earlier next week for some of my European friends. Yeah, I'm not a morning person, which is part of my problem in life. But I think I might try to do it at like 9 a.m. my time, which I think is closer to like a reasonable time of day. So Nikki, that'd probably be like 9 a.m. my time. I'm looking at my clock here. That would be like 3 o'clock your time. And I have some other friends in Europe too, who, specifically Germany, who are interested in kind of joining and seeing some of these. So I think for them that'd probably be like 4 o'clock, but that's at least a little bit more reasonable. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna try to do this every Friday in October, and if it's valuable to other people and fun, I mean, it's fun for me. If it's valuable for other people, I might just turn it into a Friday tradition. We'll see. But yeah, and today's my first day playing around really with OBS, so there's some learning kinks here to sort out. But yeah. All right, well, I'm not seeing anything else in the chat or anything else that anybody particularly wants to work on at the moment, so I think we are going to call it a wrap. Thank you so much, everyone who joined today. Dre, Bridget, Andy, Nikki. Hopefully had some other like silent listeners in here as well. But yeah, really glad to have you here, and let me know if this was helpful and if there's anything else that I could do to make this more fun and interactive. And yeah, I will work on having some better lo-fi music situation going on next week. But yeah, thanks again, and I will see you all around.